the SPAC that I'd like to mention, which is called Pershing Square Tontine Holdings
Yep.
Incorporated.
Yeah.
Pershing Square Tontine Holdings came to my attention mainly because of the company that they had targeted for their acquisition, which was a company called Universal Music Group, which is obviously pretty famous. Like, most people have heard of Universal Music before, right?
Yeah.
And Universal Music is owned by a company. It's like 52% currently owned by a company, Vivendi. So it's a company called Vivendi that owns like 52% currently of Universal Music Group, or UMG. And so the agreement was to buy 10% of Universal Music Group from this company called Vivendi.
Okay, cool.
So, tontine, I wasn't sure what that meant. I thought it was like a term that he just sort of come up with, but I realized that it's got some sort of inherent meaning. And so back in the 1700s and the 1800s, apparently it was basically when they would get a whole bunch of individuals to pool their money together into some form of fund or whatever. Or in this situation, it was for to build. I saw some examples of building property and stuff like that. And there's incentives. Basically, there's some sort of incentive in place for long-term investment. And so in this situation back in the 1800s, the incentive was that as people died, their dividends that should have been paid to them are now redistributed towards those who are still surviving members.
Right, okay.
And so as you get older and older and older and people die, you get more and more and more dividends until you're literally the last person receiving the full dividend.
Yeah, okay.
And then at which point, when you die, apparently the government steps in and I don't know, there's some sort of legal process that ends it. So apparently it's a term that was used mainly in the 1800s, and then it kind of went out of circulation in the 1900s. And so he's incorporated this term into his SPAC,